So you're thinking of moving into charity or non-profit leadership. That's great. It's a career path that can offer you so much. In this video, I'll be talking about some of the things you might want to consider if you're thinking about making this move. Whether you're moving from the commercial sector into the third sector, or you're moving up into your first leadership position, or actually you're looking to do both at the same time. Hi, I'm Katherine at Life in the Third Lane, the channel for charity and non-profit leaders and aspiring leaders. Despite talking about career ladders, I actually really don't like the term ladder. I much prefer the term path. A ladder implies regular steps of the same distance in a linear direction and always upwards. Now, I don't think many people actually have a career like that. Most people's involve sideways steps, longer times in one job than another. They might involve some scenic detours or actually even going right back to the beginning and starting again in a completely different direction. Non-profit leadership can also be something that you do alongside paid work. So often it's done as voluntary work to progress a cause that you're particularly passionate about, or it's something that you do to develop your skills in an area that maybe you don't have skills at the moment. If you're thinking about making the move, there's a few things you might want to consider. The first is alignment to the cause of the charity or the non-profit. You have to be aligned with what they're doing and the way that they do it. This is really important because as a leader, you need to be authentic, and if you don't believe in what you're doing, then no one else will either. The next thing to consider is whether you're ready for breadth rather than depth. I talk a lot more about the move from specialism to generalism in this video here, so you can get some more information. The reality is that most charity leaders are split across a wide variety of different disciplines, from strategy to finance to fundraising to volunteer management to operations to HR and anything else that your organisation needs to do in order to run effectively. So you really need to ask yourself if that's what you want in your role. Do you want that breadth with very little depth, or do you want that depth in your specialist area? The next thing to consider is that the buck will stop with you. How comfortable are you making the final decision on things? Are you the kind of person who really prefers to be able to escalate things to another person to be able to make a final decision, or are you really comfortable making that yourself? Now, you might have to make some really difficult decisions in your leadership role, and it's important that you're comfortable that you are the person that the buck stops with. Particularly if you're a first-time CEO or chair, then really you will be making these decisions and you won't necessarily have anywhere to go. You can use your board if you're a CEO, and that's a great way to get some input into things, but ultimately you're going to be making a lot of these decisions yourself, and when decisions need to be made, everyone's going to be looking to you to make them. You also, if you're moving from the commercial sector into the third sector, then you really need to think about the realities of working in the charity and non-profit sector. In reality, there are far too few resources for what you'll be trying to deliver. You'll be trying to make them stretch a really, really long way. You won't have the kind of budgets necessarily that you've been used to be able to try and deliver the same things. The expectations are really high, but the pay is a lot lower generally. So you also have to understand that part of what you're going to be getting back is the warm fuzzy feeling, not in your bank account. The impact of not delivering can also be really emotionally difficult, especially when the impacts are felt by the people who you're trying to benefit through your charity or non-profit. There will always be more things that you want to deliver than you're going to have the resources to be able to do. So you're going to have to be comfortable to make the decisions about who benefits and in what ways they benefit, and more challenging, who doesn't benefit and in what ways they don't benefit. Burnout for charity leaders is a real challenge. You're going to be driven by the cause and what you're trying to achieve and the personal impact that not delivering might have on people. So it can be a real risk that you massively overwork and run yourself ragged trying to deliver for everything for everyone, but you do need to look at how you protect yourself. So I've talked a little more about resilience in this video here. But despite some of the potential downsides, the feeling of knowing that you're making a real impact in the world and for people can be so worth it. Hopefully that's given you some food for thought in considering your move into charity leadership. If you've enjoyed this video, please do click the like button and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate your support. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below and where you're considering moving to, and if you decide to take that step. I hope you have a really great rest of your week and keep on changing the world.